What's up, team? I'm so sorry that I was late and I'm shouting in the microphone. If that is not a way to start a live stream, what's up, team? I hope you guys have had a great week this far. Hope you're having a good afternoon. Sorry I came in a little late today. I lost track of time. All I did was eat dinner, made the thumbnail, brushed my teeth, and washed my face. And I couldn't even do that. Oh, I ran to Wawa. I'm like, really? It's 8:30? What the hell? So I hope you guys are doing great. It's coming. It's coming, guys. If you haven't done so and you're new here, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. It's greatly appreciated. We put out valuable content each and every day. We also trade live right here Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4 p.m., guys. Again, we have a lot of data today, guys. What is going down that I've not heard one single person talk about, right? We're going to cover that. We're going to cover NVIDIA earnings, right? I'm going to give you some insight on what we need to be looking for tomorrow night, right? They report after the bell tomorrow. I got a couple chart patterns that I want to go over. What do I think is going to happen in the markets? We're going to cover that. We're going to make this quick. What we'll do is we'll start with, what's up, Ray? How you doing, buddy? Not sure if I heard them or not. Strange people. Why they don't let you silence me? Oh, yeah, that's a whole... That's so funny. What's up, Collins? How you doing, bro, man? Sorry, guys, again, for coming on here so late. Like I said, all I had was dinner, and brushed my teeth and washed my face and ran to Wawa. That was it. And I'm like, really? I was trying to spend a couple minutes to go over some chart patterns, like Apple. Apple has a really nice setup. We're going to see what happens with that. We're going to cover, what else? I want to make sure that this is working right. Do you guys have any setups? What are you guys watching? All right. What are you guys seeing? What sector? All right. For instance, nobody's talked about this. All right. Look at Roblox. Now, I haven't had opportunity too much to go run through all kinds of levels. Look at this thing. It's $26 now, guys. If we go to the daily chart, and yes, you can see the... Look at it. So it's back at 52-week lows, or at least year to date lows, right? It's almost getting ready to put in a new low. So, and I want to say there's a balance, but dude, that RSI is still climbing down. That RSI is still put in a new low. It's really weak, so I would not try and step in front of that. But yeah, NVIDIA, right? What is it that I'm seeing that nobody's talking about? We're going to cover that. Again, if you guys have any setups, right? I don't care if it's indexes, whatever it is, throw it in the chat. We're all here to help each other out. Like this individual said about another group. We don't charge a dime, right? We're building a community of traders here where we can come in, provide ideas, you know, small caps, mid caps, large caps, all of the above. It doesn't matter. I trade it all. I have been relaxed, right? I've said in the beginning of the week that I've been a bit relaxed here. Right, Monday and Tuesday, I was going to just let the markets do what they want to do and kind of climb. Because I'm telling you, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, guys, this volatility is coming. And I'm going to be prepared to take advantage of it. I'm ready to smack the out of this market like O'Malley did. What's his name? Right? I'm ready to get the belt myself. So, yes, HKD. I almost did a play on HKD. I haven't talked to you in a while, NASCAR, but yeah, that's actually, yes. There's actually two small caps, right? There's HKD that went off today. I was looking at that today as well, and I hope you've been doing good, bro. I haven't heard from you in a while. I hope everything's all good. Yeah, and that's exactly, see, look, right? I did the same, I had the same thought process. Literally, right to my target. I thought it was a little late. I don't like the fact that it put in this tail. I guess because people took profits. You had over 100% there, right? And I'm wondering, like, and I thought to myself that small caps might pick up early in the week because we have so much at the end of the week, right? Where are traders going to go? And I know where they're at, and nobody's talking about it. I'm going to show you that. I want to read this, though. Was watching HKD. Yes, VFS was the other one. I have that written down. Yes, VFS, HKD. I only see the main two watches. Yeah, man. Yes, and you were spot on, because if you were not looking at, like, this is it, guys. This is what nobody's talking about right here. Look at these. Look at the day the banks had today. Look at that. That's Bank of America, right? That's Bank of America. There's more, right? Banks are getting smacked, right? Banks are getting smacked, and I'm like, of course, look at this. That's JP Morgan. What a day, guys. You know, I seen the China market a little early. It was kind of going green because I guess they did something with their currency. I haven't read too much or too far into the news with that. I do want to, guys, I want to watch. What I usually will do is I will take, what the is going on here? All right. I will usually take what's going on in the world, and what I'll usually do is, like, you see how we're red over here? Well, now look, see, it's kind of, now it's kind of flipping back. It looks, it's, the picture is kind of deceiving again now because it wasn't this red, right? I'm hoping on the S&Ps to be able, and I'm going to get into it on the chart, I'm hoping to be able to get one last little rally, but I don't know what that is. Is that going to be NVIDIA, right? We need a catalyst to go up, and we need a catalyst to go down. I was waiting for that. Why is this camera doing this literally on the live streams at night and not during the day? This is so weird, right? That's so weird. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm going to have to look into it. You got to be kidding me. I'm going to have to check this out. Come on. Let's go. Let me see here. I got it, guys. This ain't cool because it's just been starting to do this. All right, it should start to do something now. It should start to configure video. Oh, here's what I'll do. Here's what we're going to do. Boop. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. I do apologize. Lock it up. It'll probably do it again. Honestly, I don't know why it's doing this at night. It's not doing it at all during the day. Right? So, all right. Anyway, HKD, let's get into the charts and stuff. So I showed you guys banks. Banks have been getting slacked. And I mean slacked. Smacked, all the above. So I'm actually want to watch how China market does and see if all this red that we've had over here, and even here in the United States, see if that green starts to shift its way over to our way, because we've done this so many times, right? Where we'll see like this beige looking color, or we'll see red. Like the 1 week we came in, this whole thing was like a decent red. And then we watched it on Tuesday turn to this beige color, whatever you want to call it, maroon. You know, just starting, you could see the shift from red into the green. Keep your eye on that. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I want to see, right? What sectors? Title of this video: Stop losing money. All right, stop losing money. Take a look at these things. They're important. Now, I don't like a lot of people that do videos just like touch on this. Oh, Tesla up here, NVIDIA here. What the hell? What does that do for anyone? I mean, I get it. It's entertaining, right? But no, I want to dive into this. Look what's really semiconductors and banks hurting, right? There's our short. We're going to dive into the charts, and even the regionals are really getting smacked, right? Regionals are down big, down bad actually, 3%, 5% RF, right? What else do we have on here? 4% CMA, PNC down almost 4%. ITUB is oddly enough green. I wonder if that's Itua, Unibeck Holdings. I don't know. So what do we have here that's pretty green? Look, industrials, right? Industrials are green. Gold had a decent day today. Apple wasn't too bad. Apple's actually one of the plays I'm looking at that's coming into resistance. We'll talk about HKD. I don't like the fact that that tail got put in NASCAR on HKD today, like the way it closed. We're going to cover that. I think it's an electric vehicle new stock that came out. I'm pretty sure it might be new. I'm not too sure. VF, he has it in the chat, so I wrote it down here. Yeah, VFS. Yup. So Baidu was kind of green today. It looked, when I looked at the chart, it looked flat. Baidu had earnings this morning. So let's do this real quick, right? Let's do this real quick. We already know yes, like look, your banks are green, your semiconductor or red. I mean, your banks are red, right? Semiconductors are red. Look at what's weak and what is strong. Stop losing money. If there is not a setup, do yourself a favor and keep your money in your account. Don't push any buttons. Please. Right? I have done it for 2 days now. I think I might have put on two trades yesterday. They both went 200%, but I was break even because I told you guys why yesterday. The call, I had it up on my brokerage account and was in same day expirations on the S&Ps, and I was planning on getting it for the next day because as you saw today, we had a gap up, and my plan was to hold it to see if we were to get that gap up. That's my intentions were a gap up, and we got that gap up. But the fact that it was during the day, that they were dailies, I'm like, I don't have much use for these. My position size as well was way down. So what is it going to be worth to me? 80, 100, $200. Okay, yeah, I got paid. I would have got paid, but I also would have also had to worry about that risk. So I was like, I just didn't think that I had that much upside, right? The puts that I got in, I just didn't hold them long enough because of the same reason. Same day expirations, and I wasn't too sure if we were going to get that drawdown. We ended up getting it, and they went over 200%. They went damn near 300. We got them at 20 cents. They were at almost 90 cents on Monday. But that's neither here or there. I made sure that I followed my plan. My plan was, unless there is news like Zoom, I was going to play Zoom today. It fell out of bed. I had a plan for it. It did nothing of that plan, right? Maybe it's because the markets were a bit weaker today, and we never got the bounce back. Like, I was hoping to get that bounce back to the 200-day moving average and be able to ride that thing back down short. Never happened. I was hoping to say, hey, if we come up wherever it is that we open, I'm going to be looking for that 50-day. That never happened. So what did I do? I didn't trade, right? Here's your 50-day. We were below it. You didn't even gap up to it. So that whole trade was gone for me, personally, right? I had a plan. Nothing nothing panned out, right? My game plan it literally did nothing of the sorts. So what did I do? I didn't do anything. All right, this is 2 days I haven't done anything. Now, it did put in a nice tail. So what I could look for now is to say, hey, if the market's still, if we get a bounce, I could look for a break above the 100-day and get that pullback, and then look to maybe take it long above the 50, right? Maybe to the 50. If it's worth it, maybe we'll see, right? Does it reject the 100-day again? So what I'm getting at is, if you do not have like a plan, if you do not know how to gauge the markets, again, yesterday I thought we were going to have a gap up. Like I said, I had no time on those calls, so I sold them, and we came into a huge, decent gap up today. From what I seen, it was a decent gap up. So that's all, guys. Listen, you need to have at least an idea and a reason behind what it is and why it is that you're doing it, right? The S&Ps have had, the volume hasn't been bad. I'm not going to sit here and say that the volume's been awful, because it hasn't, right? The volume actually hasn't been too bad, right? Today I think we moved about $3 on the S&P, right? I did not see any type of setups on the S&P for me to feel comfortable enough to play it, right? I thought about, so if you notice here, this gold line, right? This gold line, look at it. We have been riding this thing just like Mother Nature. Look at the bounces that it's put in after hours to let you know that this trend line is on someone else's charts as well. Not someone else, but like many other people's charts. They're watching this trend line. If we get a decent break, you will and should get a retest of this, right? We've had this little bit of like a inverted head and shoulders kind of. But what was this? Was this a break below the neckline? I just don't, and all of it happened pre-market and after hours. Like, you want something to happen during market hours. So my goal here is to help save you money, right? A lot of these guys and individuals in chat, they know what they're doing, right? They're playing HKD, they're playing the small caps, they know their risk to reward, right? And I'm sure if you ask them, what do they do if they don't see anything, right? They're going to wait till they see a setup. We have just came out of markets that had beautiful setups from energy, right? You had gold breakdown, the Dow, right? All the and these patterns took a little while to set up, right? These patterns took a little bit. Look at this daily chart of the Dow. We've been on watch on this, right? Breaks out. That's a double bottom on the 50-day. Boom, right? And now it's working its way back down. All right, so I'm going to get into the markets. I want you guys to have a reason why you're trading something. Don't just trade because you're off of work. Don't just trade because you're bored. Okay, it's going to cost you money and you need to take this serious. I am taking a melatonin when I get off here because tomorrow I am getting up and that little girl over there that's sleeping is not fucking with me today. Right? I got to get down to business. Tomorrow is going to be volatile. Come join us right here, 7:30 to 4. I'll probably be on at like 6:30. Right? I do plan on getting knocked out, so I don't care if she could do whatever she wants to do on me. And I ain't waking up because I know tomorrow and Thursday and Friday we going to get busy in chat. IvyLeeTradingYouTube.com right here early in the morning. All right, so I'm going to go through a couple charts that I want you guys to see here. Look at the IWM. All right, we're going to run through the major indexes. So why do I run through the major indexes? And if you're you know, you've been doing this for a while, I'm sorry for the little, you know, talk and spiel. One more thing. Let me go back to what I was saying. Have a reason to take the trade, whether it's a setup, a catalyst, news, right? You have a reason to get in because you're expecting the X amount of movement. Your risk to reward is there. 2 to 1, 4 to 1, 8 to 1. I don't care, whatever it is, right? You're in it because it's got volume, and that volume is there because it's got news or it's got a technical setup, right? It's something, right? We don't just trade because we're bored. That's how you lose money. That's how you waste money, right? You can sit and scalp the markets if you know how, right? If you don't know how to do that, I would not suggest it. You're just going to tear yourself up, and you're going to die by 1,000 cuts, right? Death by 1,000 cuts is a thing, right? Where's your stop loss? Where's your take profit? Why are you in the trade? And then when you get in the trade, has anything about the trade changed? Is it still in an uptrend? Is it still sitting sideways because you're selling options? Or is it going down? Is it still in that downtrend? Is it putting in higher lows or is it putting in lower lows? Or has it changed from lower lows to higher lows now and it's starting to shift and work its way up? Right? Take profits at your targets. Know your targets before you get in a trade. All right. 2. Never mind. I'm not going to even feed into that. I don't know. That's it. That's it for that. Right? We're going to get into charts and I'm going to show you guys some setups. And when I say this is where I'm going to look to short, this is where I'm going to short. Now, it all depends on what the market does tomorrow. Maybe we get this little bit of a bounce tomorrow leading into NVIDIA earnings, right? Maybe they want to price a little bit more in. Let's go over NVIDIA real quick, and we're going to touch on the market. So, I know I just went to the Dow. I'm all over the place. I have ADHD, so I apologize. Look at the IWM. It's back down at its 100-day moving average, right? This 100-day moving average is still here. This thing is sitting sideways, and it's struggling to get some upside. Look at the amount of days that it's been down compared to the SPY and the Dow and all of them. Look at these days, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, you could consider this a down day because it gapped down and never closed back higher than the day before. I would consider that a down day. Yes, it closed higher than when it opened, but it did not close above the close. That's the thing people may not understand about the daily charts. And if this TV is loud, just let me know. Right? If you guys are hearing it, I do apologize. It's the World Series on here. Yeah, AMC down 43%. I seen that it was getting halted today. Yeah, I seen that thing was getting halted today too, man. Look at what is AMZ? That's like a 2020 chart. Oh, it must have like not. It stopped trading. I was like, what? Elmerin MLP. That's a $200 and some stock. Why is it? Oh, it is still trading. I'm gonna have to look into this thing. It's got a. What's the? It has no volume. What the heck is going on here? I know it's not AMC that I have up here. There is no volume. That's so funny. There literally is no volume on this thing? Or did my volume go away? That's so weird. It didn't have any volume. Wasn't that crazy? That's so weird. Not really, but AMC. AMC. Not AMZ. Man, that's a beautiful... Didn't it happen Friday, though? I thought it happened Friday. I guess after hours, maybe? No. Maybe it was Monday. I forget when that news came out. I can't remember. Yeah, that is insane, man. Could you imagine what that's paid out? Yeah, there it is. It's from back here. That's crazy. That's insane. Man, to be a part of that. And what do you have there? Right? You have a catalyst. You have news. And I'm sure if you bring this up, this pivot higher, this triple top here, this area, is definitely a technical breakdown. Oh, would you look at that? There's finally that pennant. Breaking that pennant. Right? Couldn't get back up above it. Couldn't get back up above it and literally turned it into resistance. Look at that. To a T. Look, it literally hit that damn green candle just about, didn't it? That's so funny. Hey man, I'm sorry for people that were in there. Like, this is why you don't follow the crowd. Don't follow the crowd. I don't care what it is, from whatever it is that you wear, what it is that you do. Be you, be true to who you are, and don't fall for stupid shit like this. Trade it, right? Trade it. I traded the shit out of this. Like, I traded GME back in October and November before it squeezed in what? January, February, December? I traded that $8 to $11, $12 area. Then I traded from like 13, 14 up to like 18 to 21. I was trading that whole time before it squeezed. What a fun time that was, right? What a fun time that was. I wonder what's next. We need something next, right? You guys remember Hertz? Remember when Hertz ran up? Tilray had a big squeeze years ago. All right, so real quick before we get into NVIDIA real quick, because this is important, guys. I want to hurry up. The IWM. Look at this, like, cup and handle, guys. This is an inverted cup and handle if you've ever seen one. I promise. Right? It don't get the shape of that. It does not get any more beautiful than that. All you would need is a low volume pullback to about 191 if we get it. And I swear to God, this bear market may start. Unless this is the handle, right? Here to the left. But look at that. Look at that curve, guys. That is beautiful. This is a textbook cup and handle. Any thoughts on HKIT? It has a weird price action all week. HKIT. Let's run it. Let's run HKIT, man. No problem at all. Yeah, buy it. I'd be a buyer. Set a trailed stop. You know? Buy it. Short squeeze is on, baby. Short squeeze is on. Better get your tickets. Train's about to leave. I mean, the one thing I can say about this is buyers are able to take it up. Believe it or not, they have been bringing buyers been taking this thing up. You've been trading for a while, right, NASCAR? I don't know if it's something you do full time or not. I'll have to check out your YouTube, whatever. My link's in. If you guys want to ever work with me or do anything, my email address is in the description. I'm just putting that out there. And again, if you haven't done so already, just hit the like button, subscribe. I'm trying to go over I'm just trying to let you guys know that there's some volatility coming, right? And what I'm looking for is, like, if we can get this bounce back. But yeah, HKT, man, I mean, look at the chart. That's all I'd have to say is look at that, man. I mean, this thing has ran, right? It's a bit oversold or overbought. But I hate Thinkorswim for this because I am sure that there's more price action than just this. So I don't know why it's doing this, but that is some weird price action, right? Look at it closing. It's not like it's putting in these crazy tails on the upside of the candle, right? It's not like it's just went up and had this huge like sell off. It's still hanging in up there at these $30, $27 level. High Tech Global. Oh, Macy. So, and that brings me to another thing, guys, is why I feel like, what did we do yesterday, guys? I showed you guys all these charts. I showed you guys all these charts. And it was important that we cover these because you guys have to understand what's going on, right? There's your GDP. This is time. This is your time. All right? I don't know what the hell any of that. There we go. There's what I was going to show you guys. So here's NVIDIA. We'll get into it now while we're here. And if you guys have any other tickers or anything, throw them in the chat. I appreciate you, NASCAR. I honestly don't know. There's no prices up here. I would be a buyer. I'd be a buyer, right? I'd be a buyer. I mean, it has not closed red in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. It has not closed red in 8 days. Is this a recent IPO or am I just missing price action? HKIT, 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 HKIT. Let's do this. Yeah, so this is a new offer. Wow, I'm going to have to do some research on this. I'll do some research on it. It's definitely put in a topping tail a little bit, but it's like it's also came back. You know, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, so this looks different than what it's showing me on Thinkorswim, right? There's this little tail, and then, right, it's put in these tails, and then just continues and continues and continues. I don't know if many people know about this, so I will look into it. Maybe more and more. You had a decent, and the thing is it's just ripping up on volume, on lower volume at that. So tomorrow we don't have that much economic data. Germany has a few things coming out. Thursday we have jobless claims and durable goods. We don't have much data this week to bring us down, right? That's the question I want you guys to ask yourselves. What's going to bring us down? What's going to bring us up? Right? That's what we need to know. Let's do it. Let's run through these charts. So we've already been on almost an hour. All right. And again, if you guys are struggling at trading or would like some help, my email is in the description. If you'd like to work with us, my email is in the description. You can help us by liking, subscribing if you haven't already done so. And we just thank you guys for being here. And if you have any questions, like I say, you can throw them in the chat. I will do my best to help guide you in the direction that that will benefit you. That's the whole goal of this. So I don't want to keep going over this. We're going to go over NVIDIA earnings. So right now we have this cup and handle that's like forming on all of the charts. I am waiting and praying that we get this bounce back, guys. And I want to see if we can get this bounce back. And I want to get this thing up to 445. Now I'm going to get into NVIDIA because NVIDIA is our catalyst. Jobless claims is our catalyst if it's a surprise, right? If it's a surprise, whether it's bad, if it's good, right? Whatever it is. Durable goods data, the market's going to move, but I don't think that's going to really, give us that directional trend, right? So that's what you want to ask yourself. What do we have to keep us going to the upside? What do we have to keep us to the downside? Now, if you're already in a rally, let's say like we were back here in June and July, right? If you in that time frame, if you're already in a rally, you would say, what do we have to bring us down? What catalysts are coming up? You do that in the beginning of the week. You want to go through your data because you're going to be able to say, okay, well, we have this Wednesday, we have this Thursday, we have that Friday. Chances are we'll have a light couple days, Monday and Tuesday, depending on the estimates and how everything turns out, whether it's earnings, whatever it is, whether it's earnings or data. You want to time and see, like with using your moving averages on the daily, you can use that time when you get things to say, hey, we're in an uptrend now. What is it that's going to send us down? Could it be this? Could it be that? If there is nothing, if there's no earnings, no data, chances are that trend will continue, right? It'll just continue at a mild pace. By Pacific Century Securities. Why have I heard of it? I've heard of it. They all have massive ranges. HKIT has actually been the latest runner of the three. Yeah, it has, bro. I can see that. I see that. IPO'd. Yeah, I see that. Yup, it did IPO. Yeah, man, that thing has, like, it's had these tails on it, and the buyers are still there. That's why I say I'm gonna have to do some research on that thing, and I'll have to. I don't think I've heard of Pacific Century. I'll have to look them up. I'll have to look them up. I'm surprised I haven't heard of Pacific Century. Maybe I have, and I'm like, and I just, it's been a while. So what I want to get into is, obviously I'm going to get into that Nvidia earnings. I showed you guys banks. Banks were getting tore up, right? Usually TLT and banks will trade in opposite directions. Right now they're trading together, and that's to the downside. Really, TLT had somewhat of an update today, but banks got totally hit, and nobody that I know or have like listened to CNBC anything, nobody has said anything about the banks today. They got murdered, right? And it's hard to get yourself prepared, but you can get prepared, right? Take that FinViz, take this FinViz, and branch off your sections, right? You have bank. You'll have energy, you'll have tech, right? You'll have healthcare. That's pretty much the main three parts of the market. Technology, banks, healthcare, right? You'll have your bigger names, and you could use commodities if you want. That's up to you. But I'm talking like market moving, right? What is the weighting in the S&P? You should know that. You can look it up, right? Obviously, that heaviest weighting, at least back when I looked, it was like 20-some% was tech. It's tech, banks, and healthcare. So you want to look at those, and you want to look at the different, like, parts of the market as its own store or its own market, right? You have technology, you'll have banks, you'll have industrials, and you'll have energy, and then you'll have all the little stores in there. You want to go through each chart, right? We could go to, like, we'll go to the strong names. So we'll go to JP Morgan. It had a really bad day today, for the most part, right? Okay. It's also putting in this inverted cup and handle, right? I'm telling you, I would love to get this bounce back, to get this market on its ass. We are going to, if this happens, I am going to make so much money on this down move, guys. You guys are going to want to be there, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be taking full advantage of it. Whether it's Powell, whether it's Nvidia, I don't care what it is, I will be taking advantage of it. So we'll take a look, right? Even if you want to put up like a half-hour chart, just to see what's going on. Okay, we have this pivot high, that little lower pivot high you have on the SPY. Okay, you're still kind of above it, so it's still kind of strong, right? So if I'll just go to a daily because it's a little bit easier. Now I'm trying to teach you guys this if you're new, right? Someone if you're new. There's your pivot high. We pulled it back, pivot high, pull it back, rally, right? What does well, Apple had earnings too, and these banks actually had earnings. Banks usually are the first ones to start, so it may be a little bit of difference because you are coming out of earnings as well. We also have Snowflake earnings too. So if I go to banks, I'm going to Microsoft real quick, right? This has been having a mind of its own because of obviously earnings. It doesn't look like anything on as the other markets, right? This is like this isn't such an inverted cup and handle, right? I'm just trying to help you guys out a little bit so you guys can start doing this and knowing, like, okay, the IWM is here, banks are here, energy's here, healthcare's here. Like, look at this, guys. You're coming up into the 100-day moving average. Why is that so big or seem big? 158, 157. So what I'm going to look for is if Apple ends up getting above this level, which I expect, to look at this previous support. This is one of our trade ideas, right? Tomorrow. The thing is if the markets bounce up, I probably don't want to be short Apple. if the trend is going to be to the upside. If banks get a bounce, you get some of that short, whoever was short banks, you start getting them to take profit. That's a little bit of buying. Maybe you get some nibbling down there at the lows, right? From, oh my God, this damn camera. I don't understand why it's just doing this at night. Look at me. Look at me. God, look at that mother trucker. All right. So what I'm going to do is this. All right. Device, default, device, default, device, default. Deactivate, configure. Nope, we're back. I guess this is what I'm going to have to continue to do. I don't know. That's ridiculous, though. It's ridiculous. I don't know why it's doing this. It didn't do it all day. At all. Hasn't done it all day. I think... So... Come on. I'm sorry, guys. So let's get into it. I got to get into just Nvidia earnings and stuff. So start taking the markets and go through the big names and see how they look, right? Here's that pivot high on Apple, right here to the top left. You went, you pulled it back, and you rallied, and now you're done. So this is one trade I have, one trade idea that I have for tomorrow. If we end up getting above this area, then obviously with this area that we couldn't get through today, look, she's up now. I'm going to look to see if there's some type of weakness here at this resistance area with the 100-day moving average. Right? I'm going to be looking for that. If you guys have any stuff you guys want me to chart out, also throw it in the chat. I will chart them out. I'm having a tough go, guys. I'm sorry. I do apologize. This is an awful live stream. If I get 0 views, I wouldn't blame them. So I'm gonna put that. What I'll do is I will usually put like a square or an area to have whatchamacallit, because in the flex grid on Thinkorswim, I'll have the 3 minute, 5 minute, or I'll have like a 1 minute, 3 minute, 15 minute daily, right? So I can just see what it is that I'm trading. I like to have multiple charts though on a live stream for other people to see. I have other monitors here. I have another monitor that I need to get up here. All that fun stuff. So Apple's a trade idea for tomorrow with the 100-day moving average. I think this market is just waiting for Nvidia, right? I think it's waiting for Nvidia. All right, AMD is another one tomorrow. If for some reason if AMD is continuing to be weak, we might get a second shot at this rejection of the 100-day on AMD, right? You held this area of support. I want to look for a bounce and see if we reject at 105.50 to 106 area, right? I want to see if we can get that rejection in here. It may be even more closer up to like, 106.50-ish, right? Let's go into a chart and look at it real quick, because this one's going to be another good one, guys. Right? It's so far you could technically call this a higher low, but AMD fell out of bed and I could not take it. I explained in chat today that it's already rejected the 100-day moving average, right? It already rejected it. So I want to wait for the bounce back to it, because the risk to reward. So this is also going to help you stop losing money. Why did I not take the trade down here? Because I didn't believe in the long. That's one. And if I believed in the long, what would have been my risk to reward? Right? What's my risk to reward? I'm only working with the, this bounce back. I'm like, what do I have? 106 to 106.85. So I got 85 cents, right? And I need it to get there. If I'm scalping something like that for 85 cents, I need it to get there and get there in a hurry, especially if I'm playing options. Buying the stock outright, that's completely different. You don't have to worry about time decay. I like to try and play options here with members. So AMD is another one I'm going to look at, because if we fail, where's this 100-day at? Right? This 100-day is also at Monday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday's low. Right? Right around Wednesday's low. Thursday's initial morning, where we opened up last Thursday. All right? And it looks like it's also, which this doesn't really mean anything. No. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, is a bounce back to the 100-day on an AMD. So Nvidia, I got some work for you guys. You guys are going to want to watch this. All right, you guys are going to look. It's trying to turn that 38.2 into resistance now. So Nvidia had a clear down day. A lot of things did, because I think, there was a lot of weakness in banks, right? And the more we get this weakness in banks, you're going to see IWM suffer also. Those regionals are a big factor in IWM. Nvidia, we're going to have to wait. So let me show you guys something. So let's go look at what they had last quarter, their guidance, and let's see, what we're going to get an idea of their expectations, because that's what we need to look for. I hate that these live streams are so long and not to the point. I got to get better at this, so I do apologize, everyone. I do thank you guys. If you haven't done so, hit that like button. If you're just joining us, if you have anything you guys are watching or have any questions for me, throw it in the chat. So Q2 revenue, 11.19 billion versus a guidance of 11 billion. Right? For a quarter. That's a quarter. That's 3 months, guys. How much are you making in 3 months? They're pulling in $11 billion every quarter. Right? Gaming, 2.3. Data center, 8 billion, which is right here. ProViz, 320 million. Automotive and robotics, 309 million. So their biggest beneficiary is the data centers. We're going to want to see this data center number tomorrow. So if you guys want to screenshot this, right, whatever you guys want to do, screenshot it, because it's important. You're going to see the comparison. So you can look at this and already know what to expect, because you're going to be able to compare these Q3 numbers with what they did last quarter, and then whatever it is that they say for future, right? You've had Macy's and Dick's, this worry about the consumer. They're saying with people stealing, but really, it's coming, guys. I just showed you guys data last night. I showed you guys a lot of data last night that shows consumers are behind on their auto payments, right? They're paying now up to nearly 50% of the median paycheck is going to the median home. So half of their pay is going to the home. That's the payment of the home. That's not taking care of it. That's not buying toiletries. That's not buying food. That's not buying gas. That's not buying insurance. That's not buying a vehicle, right? All that fun stuff. Let alone trying to go out and eat, right? So you have interest rates that have climbed to where they are, and these housing prices, at least where I'm at, they're still way up there. So you're paying 200-300% for a house. If you're buying a home right now, I feel so bad for you. I get it. Just because you need something, you might get left holding the bag, right? Know this stuff so you guys can start making decisions that are smart, right? Smart decisions that if you do not have to buy a home, don't do it. Just wait, step aside. If you have a down payment, I don't know, get an apartment. Yes, it's a waste of money, right? It's a waste of money, but at least you have your down payment already, right? I'm not telling you guys what to, I'm just giving you guys an idea. Things are going to start changing, and it's coming. I would like you guys to be able to get yourselves set up and right? It's called a real estate market, right? It's a housing market, right? It's an equity market, stock market, right? Foreign exchange. It's all markets. You got to buy when it's low, sell when it's high, right? These buyers are eventually going to run out, right? Or they're going to move state to state. There's just a whole mix of things going on, because where I'm at, we have a whole bunch of people coming from other states because of taxes and this and that, and it was more expensive in those states and things like that, right? So, it is what it is, right? But something's going to happen. It's coming. It's coming. Consumer can only take so much. I just showed you guys the loans, right? The banks have given 70,000 less loans last quarter. 700,000 or 70,000, 700,000. I think it was 70,000 less loans, and more. That's a third consecutive quarter of people taking equity out of their homes for cash. It's just we don't know what they're using the cash for, right? They obviously, I'm sure, didn't get the loan, right? I mean, I'm sure that the bank could, obviously, there's ways around things, But people are scrambling to find money for whatever reason it is. It's just, are they able into this environment take that money, take that loan, and turn it into more dollars? Or do they buy wasteful shit that goes to zero? Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl, right? If you can drive around in a beat up Civic, I would, right? I have no problem with it. Guess what? Make that Corvette free. If we can get this second opportunity to the downside, guys, you have no idea how much it could benefit you in 8, 10, 15 years from now. I'm telling you guys right now, if we get a second opportunity at this bear market and we're able to get prices back on the lows, I will be taking advantage of it. I promise you. I promise you. And I will not be, oh my God, are we going to go down? Like, no. I'm going to be buying those lows on the way down, and I'm not going to try and time it. I'm not going to say, is it going to go lower? Or is it done? Are we going higher? You're going to know. You want to know how we know? I'm going to give you one example. 2, I'm going to go right back to this NVIDIA stuff. If you guys want to take a picture, this is everything from the second quarter, and then you can compare it to the third quarter. We'll discuss it more tomorrow or on the live stream, but I wanted to bring this up for you guys because I think this is important. You're going to be able to have the comparison right here. So screenshot it, whatever you want to do. Go look. I think it was what? October? No. It wasn't October. Was it? Remember the 20-some dollar day we put in? The SPY went like 3-something%. Right there. Look at those lows right there. It was October. No shit. It was October. I knew the low was in October. I will never forget this day, guys. Look at this low candle, right? 348.07 with a high of 367.50. 348 to 370 practically. You had such a flip the script on that day. You're going to notice, listen, the thing is you're going to have so many buyers on the way down to 400, on the way down to 390. If we get there, if you get 380, 375 and you do not buy, shame on you. If you do not buy at 360, I don't think the market's going to give you 360 or 350. I think you can probably kiss those prices goodbye. The one thing you do have going for you is that the low has never been put in before a peak in the 2-year yield. The 2-year yield peaked in March, right? It was either March or May. You have never had a bear market where the market puts in the low before a peak in the 2-year. All right, and I think it was March, February, March. It might have been, I think it was March. All right, don't quote me, but that's the point. The low was in October. The 2-year didn't peak until March. All right, it may have went a little bit even higher. So, do we put in a new low? You got to ask yourself this question. What is it going to take to put in a new low? Do you think things are going to get that bad that we can put in a new low? The other thing I like to ask myself is, do you think the market's going to give you that price? Probably not. Probably not. Will it give you 380? If it gives you 380 and you do not buy something at 380, God bless your soul. Right? I know I will be. I know I will be. Because if something's that bad and we don't have to worry about money, oh well, I made the smart decision. Right? Go back to 08. Right? Go back to the two. That's the thing too. All right. Here's the other thing that people aren't. All of us don't talk enough that we should talk about. It's the fact that 2000 to what? 2006? When was it? 2016 is when it made that new high, right? Go to a weekly chart. Look how long it took for you to get out of that market, out of that bear market in 2000, right? You did not make a new high until 2013. Right? There's your high, really. Yep. 2013, right? Because you topped it. You double topped it in 08. Right? And what year is this? That's 1999 or 2000. Yeah, that's 2000. You did not break out of that until 2013. For another 13 years, it took you 8 years to break even, right? It took you 8 years to break even, and it took you 13 to draw a profit. Could you imagine that? You could always average down, right? You could have always averaged down. There's ways to play the markets, but don't be blind to that. Do you know what happened in 1940s Have you ever looked at the SPX and looked at the Great Depression? You're talking 20 some years before it recovered, guys. That's how serious that got. Right? Look how serious that. There's your peak. Right? There's your peak right there in 1929. You did not get back up to that level until 1954, 1955. Right there. That is when you broke it and retested it. Right there in 1954. 1954 to 1929. 30, 40, 50. That's 24 years, guys. 25 years since 1929. Right? That's also a possibility. Right? But again, we're always having new people. Things are going on. Do I think we get there? I don't think we have something like that. But I am also not blind to the fact that we could just roll it back over. And if the market does give it to you, I mean, all we do is go up. We've always had pullbacks along the way, and it does recover over time. Of course, this is a lot of time. This is 1988. You know, you got to buy. So, NVIDIA, I think this week is going to depend on NVIDIA earnings. I'm looking at Apple. I had a couple other things on here for you guys. I covered the banks. Take notice to the banks. I'm not saying it's time to buy the banks because there's obvious weakness and trouble there with the downgrade from Moody's and the Fitch downgrade. Listen, bonds lead equities. Debt leads bonds, bonds lead equities. Debt leads bonds, bonds lead equities. Like, share, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. No, seriously, though, thank you, guys. It's greatly appreciated. I just want to be able to... Guys, I want to give you guys real value. Like, I don't want to sit here and just say, S&P's closed 3%. Q's closed 80,000% today. Huge green day. Everybody's rich. What the does that do? Right? It's time to change the game. Stop with this little heat map shit. Start getting busy. Right? What does this do? Oh, let's look what happened. Hey. No. All right. So the biggest, the banks, the diversified banks are down. The regionals are even smacked even harder. Where are they? Let's go chart it out. I will get to that in the morning because it's late and I want to get to sleep because I want to wake up tomorrow and hammer this market. What had a good day today? Look at financial services though. Credit services, right? If yields are going higher, that's going to bring more profit for them. Now, it is weird because the banks should be doing decent as soon as this yield curve uninverts. But I guess something's going on where they want to downgrade them and they just don't trust that people are going to be able to pay their debts, especially when they have all these other things because everyone was just given all this money. It's kind of just blocked, right? It just kind of like patched the hole in everything. They had extra money. That money's starting to run out. Look at Verizon. Look at T-Mobile. Look at your telecom services today. Are we going to be starting to look at utilities and things like that? Kind of green today, right? Let's go look at XLU. TLT had a decent update today, right? Banks got smacked. Pretty much they're inverse. Banks got smacked. TLT went up. That's a trade for you guys, right? You could be long both and take the winner, right? Take off the loser. Or if you are good at it, play them both ways. If TLT is going to go up and you think it's going to bounce, or if TLT comes into resistance and you think it's going to pull back, buy puts on TLT and get long the banks. But you know you got to make sure you're correct. That's why you should hedge it. XLU. So XLU did have a nice run a while ago. So let's look at this. This is a smaller time frame. It looks like it's trying to make up ground here. Like it was trying to, so it closed green today, right? What did the markets do? They closed red, right? This could be a safety trade. If we're starting to sense that the markets are going to come down, right? Utilities is somewhat of a safety net, right? For the most part. Let's go to the daily chart and look at it. Let's back it up and see if we can find something here. Because I missed that rally last year and I was upset. I missed this, right? And I wanted to play it because I felt like when I wanted to get in, I didn't have the chance right here. I'll never forget that run, right? I could have bought calls for like a year out, right? And I missed it. You had a nice double bottom right there, right? Double bottom, bang. We broke it. We hit the 50-day and broke above it and just, we were running and gunning for that 200-day moving average. This thing's oversold. And what I'm also seeing, what I'd like to think that I'm seeing, I think it might be time for utilities. I'm going to put my neck out there. I want to see some more volume, though. I do. The thing is, guys, if we do enter a bear market, I need you to understand everything is going to get smacked. Everything. I was like, what the heck's going on? Okay. Everything's going to get taken down, guys. If you guys haven't taken a picture of that and would like a picture of it, it's right there. Right? Price history for Q2. Nvidia plus 53.8. S&P 500 plus 6 and plus almost 7. XLK. But again, this is important. This is like what they reported last quarter to this quarter. All right. So this is what they're expecting. Revenue 12.5 billion. Let's see if they're able to do it. Right? There's that revenue. So here it is. Take a picture of it. Know it. Know it. Because when it comes out, I'm going to know what to do. Right? I'm going to have my decision made. I want to say that the utilities have been putting in lower lows with the and the RSI has actually been starting to rise. We're well below the 50-day, and I feel like so we had a low here, right? This might be the bottom and start to turn around. Maybe I think tomorrow I'll put a starter position on depending on where it's at. So that's not the low, but so here's the low, right? That low right there. Where's that line up? Obviously, right there with that gap down. Bang. Right? And what do we have right here? Another low. Right? It wicked it. Now you had some buyers in there right there, right? It went lower. And it didn't close lower, but look at the RSI. It's working its way up now. So I am not going to be blind to the fact if things pop off and shit hits the fan, this will also go down. Everything will go down. Your only hedge is the VIX. I promise you. Energy, gold, Apple, Microsoft, the SPY. Hell, it might get so bad the VIX might go down. I'm just kidding. But I want you to know, right? You might want to think about inverse. Right now might be a time where they start putting on more hedges, right? You might start seeing the VIX continue to rise even if the market goes up, right? You might start seeing the VIX rise because you may start seeing people buy protection, right? In case Powell says something, in case Nvidia does something. What we also should do is see what data or what is it that we have next week that could be coming out that could be important, right? Does he give us, like, does he say, yeah, I think we're going to do interest rates. I think we're going to do it. I think we're pretty good and pretty set, and we all agree with another interest rate. You have what's going on in China. I'm sure Powell's going to say the stuff that's going on in China is also deflationary because there's not that much demand, right? That's going to help out a little bit globally. So those are my thoughts. If you guys have any questions, I'll take them real quick. If you're watching this later, you can hit the like button, subscribe, and comment down below. It will be greatly appreciated. I have a couple things here, guys. If you guys could, the reason why I ask you guys to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, because there's a lot of people that end up watching it that don't like it and subscribing, and most importantly, and liking, is because I have a few people that are so good and so smart at this that you guys have no idea what you're in for, and I'd like to be able to get to them, right? My goal is to say when I'm about at 1,000 subscribers, if I'm even able to get there, right? If I'm even able to get there, I would like to be able to go to them and bring them on, right? Free of charge to you guys, right? I may have to pay for that. I don't know yet, right? I may have to pay them to come on. I'm okay with that. But I want to bring them on because we could be in a market environment where we could get trade ideas and start bringing up stuff from institutional side of the markets where you can hedge and do different things that I may not even know that you guys will find out, right? I know a few proprietary traders, not proprietary traders, but fiduciaries. They're very smart at this, right? Getting ideas for next year. What is the next cycle, right? We've seen uranium start to go. I was already long energy well before this energy bull run. Like, what is the next thing going to be? If we get this bear market, you get a presidential change, or if it stays the same, like, what is the next thing? Like, so we had COVID. Obviously, it was technology because of what the Fed was doing. We came out of that. The reopening play was energy. But what's next? What's going to be the next big money maker? Because the market goes in cycles with different things. There may not be much of anything. Like, it may all depend, right? Do we start to see the bonds? Do we start seeing bonds start to rip and rally if the Fed starts to see unemployment? Watch unemployment. We have jobless claims come out this week. Let's see if it starts to tick up. Let's see if jobless claims start to tick up, right? See if more people start to report these, you know, that they're laid off and stuff and want to get that check, right? If you guys don't have anything for me, I will leave. I want to make sure I leave you guys off. Rewind it if you didn't get that NVIDIA thing. Apple, you have an area of resistance, and you have that 100-day sitting right there, guys. I want to see if we can get some more downside on Apple. We may not, right? I'm sure Apple's going to get the dip bought, so I'm not blind that it could go up, and it could go up with the markets. I'm going to be watching Snowflake, obviously. I'll probably also watch for a day 2 on Zoom. If the markets bounce back, I'll look at Zoom because it just had earnings, right? Baidu, Baba with this China news. I'm going to be watching banks, but that run is kind of over with. So right now, I'm doing some soul searching for my next trade, right? On my next trade. So I'm waiting to see. I may be playing some small caps here, right? Maybe we start getting a little more small caps. Like, what are we going to do tomorrow? NVIDIA doesn't report until after the bell. So what I'm going to do is when I wake up, I'm going to see what is it that we have. Like, is there any type of news, right? Maybe we start seeing more weakness from the retail names, right? I'm going to look and see how semiconductors do. Do they continue to sell off? You can join us right here live tomorrow morning, Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4, right here. I will probably be on at like 6:30, right? I'm probably going to be on early as hell because I'm getting ready to go take melatonin, and I am knocking myself out to be able to get good sleep, and I'm going to hit home this volatility. I don't care if it's in small caps, I don't care what it is. I am going to take these next 3 days, and I'm just going to go do what I do best, right? And manage my risk. Now, I'm not sitting here saying I'm going to make a ton of money, but I'm going to be there, and I'm going to manage my risk. I'm going to put myself in the best position that I know I can, and I'm going to take advantage of any follow-through that we get. The S&Ps, I want to see if we get a bounce, right? That trend line there from Friday's close, all right? Friday's close, or Friday's wick low. Friday's low till now. Look at it bouncing off, and look at the SPY. What did I just say? I'm looking for a bounce back, a possible little gap up, all right? I also enemy right now.